Just so stinking windy here, guys. Stinking windy. Sorry for the potty language. Guys, this is a very special build. It's near and dear to my heart. I built this for myself. So I'm gonna go over what I did to it. I wanted to keep this like a trail bike. Anyways, I'm gonna go over what I did to this head to toe. And this is my bike. So stick around. If you gotta go to the bathroom, go to the bathroom now, and then come back and finish this. If you're new to this channel, I'm Johnny Nerd Out. I'm a professional e-bike builder. So what I do for a living, I convert bikes to e-bikes, and I also sell components online for people who want to do it themselves. I also offer consultations if you're running into issues, or if you want to just do it right the first time and you want to save a couple $100, book a 10-minute consultation with me, talk it all over, get you squared away, do it right the first time. All right, so guys, this is a bike for me. I'm so excited. I've been building bikes for other people, awesome bikes, and I finally was like, saw this one on Craigslist. It's like, hey, that would be great in my garage. This is the Marin Rift Zone 1. Full suspension bike. This one's got an upgraded rear shock. It's got the RockShox Monarch rear shock, RockShox front suspension fork, 27.5 by 2.35 inch tires. They look a lot fatter than they are, but these are perfect, man. They just grip. I love these 27.5ers. It's got hydraulic disc brakes. I actually upgraded these. These had Shimano disc brakes, which worked fine. But I tried doing those little magnet things where you glue the magnet on, and it was just, for about 2 minutes, it was giving me issues, and I was like, forget this. You guys know what I'm talking about when you try to do that. It's just such a pain. I just replaced the levers and ran new lines. And I figured it's like a 4 or 5 year old bike anyway, so I put the ones made by Bafang on here. They got integrated brake cutoffs. I don't have to deal with adjusting them, keeping them adjusted, all that trash. 89 bucks, comes with new rotors, everything. So I used the old rotors because the front one was a 180 and the kit comes with 160s. So it wasn't a big deal. I just used the same adapter that was on here before, slapped it right on. Took about a 10-minute install to upgrade this to integrated hydraulics. So if you have hydraulics, even if they're good, still might be worth it just to have the integrated brake cutoffs on there. But if you have mechanical disc brakes, totally recommend upgrading to hydraulics for 10 minutes, and for 89 bucks with them integrated, easy 89 bucks spent. What else did we do to it? Put a BBS02 motor on it, 750 watt. I didn't need the 1000 watt. Like I always say, it's not about the power, it's about the gearing. This thing's got a 46 tooth up here. I'm like, if I could fit a 36 tooth up here, this thing's gonna climb like a billy goat. And the 36 tooth does work. The chain line was fine, so I could still use the lowest gear. I didn't have to do any offsetting with it. Yeah, 750 watt, and you'll see in the hill climbing later, man, this thing, you don't need 1000 watt. You don't need power, you just need the leverage. And we put a Lekkie 36 tooth on here. It's got the narrow, wide tooth design, so it grabs onto that chain way better. I put a little Lekkie, I did have to use a Lekkie 5mm spacer over here. Oh, one note, if you do have this bike, I had to angle grind off some tabs on the bottom that they used for the front chainring before, but it was just in a place where I couldn't put the motor on it, so I had to angle grind that off. A lot of people are like, no, I'm not angle grinding anything on my bike. You lost me, pal. And I got you. Sometimes e-bike building is not for the faint of heart. Sometimes you got to do in there and do some heart surgery. But if you're squeamish around blood, you shouldn't be a heart surgeon, if you catch my drift. This battery is a 52 volt, 17.5 amp hour. I actually had this on my other bike, so I just was able to just put a new cradle on here, so I could just hot swap them, which also is a super easy way to have an e-bike fleet and not break the bank. Message me if you are interested in getting extra cradles. They're super cheap. Up top, we went with the 500C color display. I like this display. It's small. This is going to be like a dirt bike, so I didn't want something big and bulky, and if I happen to lay it down, I didn't want it to get, broken off or anything. These 500Cs are small and discreet. Like if I lay it down, it's not going to get bashed or anything. I also upgraded the thumb throttle. The stock throttle that it comes with is adequate at best. It's more of like an on-off switch. This has got much more actuation. You could feather it and you could feel it. So I upgraded it to the left-hand thumb throttle. People are always like, why do you always put the throttles on the left, not on the right? Because here I've got a lot more business going on. I got gear shifters, I got my brake. if I wanted to put the throttle over here, I'd have to put it way over. And then it's like, it's awkward. Here, there's nothing, it's just my brake. There is no left derailleur anymore, so I got rid of all that shifter, opened up a lot of real estate. So I usually put my throttle in that spot, so it's easy to access. It's right there. That's why I put my throttle on the left. Okay, let's go do some hill climbing and see how this thing does, and I'll do a top speed test. Why not? Okay, so you can see 30 miles an hour. I can definitely go faster than 30 miles an hour on this, even with this tiny chainring. It's just that the way that my testing is now, I don't have much runway, and it's a kind of an uphill. It's awkward. I'm making excuses, but I could easily do over 30 miles an hour with just throttle on this. Hill climbing, you can see this thing caused me to do a wheelie. I got to get down on this to not make it wheelie. I mean, it's hard to not make the front wheel come up, but even then, it just goes up that thing like it's nothing with only 750 watt. And here, let's just do, I had a 750 watt Hemiway that I just did with a fat hub motor that's geared. And we'll just do a really quick comparison just to show you that. You can see it's night and day, same power, different leverage, different using that gearing. I can't beat a horse enough because it's insane how people just don't understand it. They're like, just add 72 volts, just add the power, or just, you don't understand, just use 2 hub motors. Even then, it still is not the same. I've driven 8,000 watt hub motors bike before, and I've gotten on it, and it's gutless until you hit 5 miles an hour, which is when you're hill climbing, that's where you want that torque. You need it for super steep hill climbing or towing a lot of stuff. This is why I'd rather have a 750 watt mid-drive geared correctly than an 8,000 watt hub motor. I don't understand how people don't get it. But anyways, this thing is so much fun to whip around. It's just so much fun. I mean, I'm sweating. People are like, you don't get exercise riding an e-bike. Tell that to my muscles that are sore right now and that are like, I could feel them. Just hanging on to this thing, you're wrestling it and going, like keeping your balance. I mean, I feel it in my wrists, my forearms, my legs. Everything is getting worked out, just hanging on. If you've ever ridden dirt bikes before, you know that you ride all day, your shoulder, everything is just worked out, and you feel like you gotta like take a day off just to recoup because you're wrestling a pig. This is a 52-pound pig, which, yeah, 52 pounds, I weighed it. That's with a giant battery pack too. So this is gonna be way more powerful, way bigger battery capacity than like any pre-made e-bike you're gonna buy with this. 900 watt hours, 1400 watt peak. This bike was $900 on Craigslist. Motor was 450 bucks. So that's $1350. If I wanted to add this battery for $550, we're at 1900 bucks. All in, if you wanted to build this yourself, 1900 bucks. Compare that spec-wise, or just ride-wise. It's just like data sheets don't do it justice. You could go, oh, it's got this much, ride it. 750 watt hub versus 750 watt mid, totally different. And are you able to put different chain rings on that mid? Are accessories easy to find for your mid drive? Are you getting a Bosch motor, a Yamaha? Are you able to swap components out to customize it easily? Ask yourself that when you're thinking about buying a pre-made bike. If something goes wrong on it, am I able to repair it myself, or do I got to take it to a specialized dealer and have them sit on it while they send it away, or fly somebody in to fix it or whatever for how many weeks at a time? Man. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. So excited for this. I'll put links to all the stuff below of what I did. Oh, also, I put bottle bobs on here. Almost forgot to mention that. People are like, oh, you weren't able to reuse this? I was able to reuse the water bottle mounts, but just for added security, because I'm gonna be whipping around this thing on like rough stuff. I wanted this thing to be secured on here. I didn't want anything coming loose. So I put the bottle bobs by Grin up on here, and these things just cemented on there. It's got black shrink wrap around hose clamps, which people are like, hose clamps, whatever, dude. This thing is solid. This thing is a tank. Crazy reliability, crazy performance at a crazy value. $1,900 all in. Compare this to anything pre-made that is out there. I know for a lot of you guys I'm preaching to the choir, but that's $1,900 if I didn't have the battery. Since I already had a bike, I'm at $1,350. All right guys, thanks for tuning in. Feel free to visit johnnynerd.com for components, consultations. I'll help you build your bike, repair your bike, whatever you need. There's help out there. Later, y'all.